Can't say. My name is Angela Lavalley. I am a Cree woman originally from Hormel, Manitoba, and I am coming to you actually from New Zealand at the moment. I am just here with some family group conferencing and some connections to our Maori relatives. My spirit name that I carry with me in this moment is for grandmother's woman. Traditionally, some relatives are gifted with numerous names to honor those different transitions in their lives. Sometimes it's four. I want to acknowledge Shayna. Thank you, dear sister, for inviting me into this space in this virtual way, but knowing that my heart is with you as you sit and you be in such a powerful place to share and to learn with the folks that you're learning with. And I wish I can be there in person and support in that way, but know that the waters connect us, the trees connect us, and unfortunately some of these experiences of family violence connects us, and that we're all here together. I have overcome many forms of violence, but before that, I want to acknowledge the spirit of the mother in me, the grandmother in me, and the child in me, that adolescent in me. I want to acknowledge, my past, my present, and my future. I want to acknowledge my ancestors and how they have helped me thrive through, the pain of somebody else's pain. One of the things that I really, without getting into all the gory details of being violated in a way by somebody who was supposed to hold me and whose children I've, carried in my womb, who I've had fire with, and that even with all of that darkness, that the beauty of having children with him, that was a gift. And unfortunately, that chaos and that darkness, it triggered and activated that cycle within their lives. And unfortunately, that cost, the life of my granddaughter, Zaylin Emerald Rain, who I lost to violence. We lost to violence in 2015, and she, not only did we have a short time with her, but my daughter, to lose a child I couldn't imagine, but to also herself be overcoming violence by not only her own father, but every partner that she was with. And one of the reflections that I often think about is, where can we do better? Where can we do better, not only as people, but as human beings, but where can we do better as community? And one of the fortunate things that I have is to be, connected to a center like Mama Wichita Center, where we hold space for people who do harm. We hold space for people who have been harmed. We throw out the colonial, wording such as offender and victim. But we also honor people that still use those words and own them. So that's just, the medicine that comes from within. And I want to acknowledge that. If anything I say in this few minutes that I have, that, Rebecca Martel teaches us is, if it doesn't sit right with you, to set it down, and because it might be sitting really good with somebody else. And, one of the things that I really like to acknowledge is I reflect on, the pain and the chaos. And I also reflect on how everybody, the supports that I had to wrapped around me after all the physical, sexual, financial, emotional, and spiritual violence, that I was fortunate and blessed to have all these beautiful things wrapped around me. So, to help me take care of my home fire. And at the same time, in all of that, I often wonder if somebody would have held, the father of my children the way that I was held, that, I wouldn't see the visual of all the other fires that went out of control, because he was out of control, and he, you know, there was nobody to kind of help him tame that and nurture that fire where, you know, it wouldn't go and touch other places and create harm. And, you know, after me, there were many women, a few women who are like my sisters, who have, you know, had to endure the pain that I've endured. And again, blessed with other children who, you know, they have with him, and they call me auntie, and we have a really strong relationship. But he's still yet to, you know, have that space to be held, and to not ask, you know, when we reflect, not ask, what did you do, but what happened to you? Because if somebody sits down and asks him what happened to him, you know, they would learn so much. And it's not my place to tell his story. But in all of that, the thing that